As the sound of the front door being slammed shut, then locked, ran through the house, Coe knelt over, still crying a bit, but now feeling more disgusted than she did sad. Despite moments before wanting nothing but to lash out at the sprawled out dead rabbit in front of her first teasing, a small part of her yearned to hug him. She then rubbed the bite mark on her cheek, remembering the sharp pain of when they first met, the roller coaster of emotions in the short time they knew each other. Coe muttered under her breath, wistfully, "All you wanted was love." Immediately after, Coe could feel something small lodged in the back of her nose. At first, she attributed the discomfort to feeling isolated and lonely. That is, until a lightheadedness and fuzziness started to tickle her brain. She began sneezing, holding her nose to stop as her eyes began to tear up, reminding her of her allergies when it came to pollen, but this was different. Ugh! As the tears and fluttery, tingly feeling in her brain continued, she soon fell to her knees. What is this? Soon, her sneezing ceased. From the pit of her brain, something large began to upsurge, making its way from her head to her nose. She then let out one loud sneeze with so much force, her back slammed into the wall. Her teary eyes blurred her vision. She groaned in pain, wiping away her tears and mucus with the sleeve of her coat. As she cleared her eyes, she sat stunned, as a small, brown and white rabbit now laid in a puddle of her own mucus. Coe's eyes scanned the rabbit which had erupted from her body, then Buttercup, who she had supposedly killed. She clutched onto her right arm in horror as she realized the two were near identical. Too scared to move or make any noise, Coe stood stupefied, looking back and forth, trying to arrange some logical explanation which would slow her stifled breathing. Soon, she stopped comparing the two, accepting what her body had just done. Shaking, she begrudgingly stood up. She wanted to run out of the room and scream down the streets for her parents. She wanted to believe she was going to wake up in the backseat of her father's car. But another part of her felt trapped. She approached the new Buttercup, looking over it. Its eyes were closed, its body laced in an uncomfortable amount of mucus. Despite its unceremonious birth, its pupils underneath its closed eyelids were flickering back and forth as if dreaming. She then said quietly, almost involuntarily, "Are you okay?" The new Buttercup then opened his eyes slowly. A smile once again spread across his face. "You can't be so rough with a rabbit, Buttercup. We have small, itty-bitty bones and itty-bitty hearts and stuff." He giggled to himself in a way that frightened Coe. She asked, raising her voice, "How are you here right now? What did I just do?" Weakly, Buttercup stood on all fours, shaking himself off. "I told you, remember? You and I are gonna be best friends from now on. I knew right away. That's why." He looked at the bruise mark on Coe's face. "That's why I made sure no matter what, we could be together. Forever." The last words, "together forever," left her mouth hanging open. She didn't know how to scream from the horror of her situation. This wasn't what she was told was normal. This wasn't supposed to be a bad thing. She ran her fingers through her tufts of hair, asking herself why she felt compelled to clasp Buttercup again, even after everything she had done. She then sat on the floor, covering her face, a bit ashamed but restless. Buttercup looked up at her innocently as she tried to make as much sense of what she was feeling now. Could it have been her parents leaving, which had made her desperate? Maybe she was alarmed and didn't understand herself. As she bounced around these possibilities, in reality, she felt a weight lifted from her shoulders. She peeked through the crevices of her fingers, stealing glances at Buttercup. He then asked, "Come on, don't get all sad on me now. I just, came back from the dead just to be with you." She felt her heart beating faster, excited to hear those words. She resisted those feelings, trying to be rational. She stammered, But how? I thought you were..." "What, just some other rabbit? I can talk and stuff though," he said, shaking off Coe's mucus from himself. As he did, Coe watched as Buttercup's old body began to crumble and break apart, as if it were a shell or a cocoon of his former self. "I'm not just any old rabbit. I'm like a super rabbit, he said with a hop, innocently giggling to himself. I don't talk just 'cause. I talk 'cause I'm more than your average rabbit. Just like how you're more than your average human, Buttercup. Coe flinched at that remark, fearful of what else could happen. Hey, don't look all scared. I'd never hurt you like you hurt me, he said with a soft, seemingly genuine tone, as if affected by how shaken Coe looked. I just meant, like, you're special. I don't want to leave you. Ever. You don't. Even after. She didn't know why, but her throat started to feel tighter. How can anyone forgive someone that easily? She thought, refusing to believe anyone could be that special. But why? Why me? Because I'm easy, right? Because I'm easy to have now, so you can leave me later and move on to some other owner, right? As she questioned its intentions further, she began to look away, half realizing what she was really asking of it, and it seemed to read Coe like a book. Silly Coe. Coe flinched at it, finally calling her by her name. I chose you because I want you. You care enough to get all guilty. Nobody's ever felt bad about hurting me. I don't need to go anywhere as long as you keep on holding me, it said, with a childlike kind of earnestness. Coe flustered a bit by the remark, stammered, completely flushed. You can't just... You don't even... She covered her large smile. Her cheeks began to hurt. I can. You make it easy. I don't know what your parents were thinking of leaving you and all, and I didn't know you'd get all touchy about it, but I'll never leave you. The four walls of her lilac-colored room felt as if they were starting to close around them. She inched closer, relieved that one thing would stay. As she got closer to him, he then ran up to Coe, then hopped towards her, forcing Coe to catch its fragile self quickly. She held Buttercup, though this time more desperately. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. She kept repeating over and over again, to the point where all the moisture in her mouth dried up. And then, after a few moments, responding sweetly, It's okay. We'll work on you. Just don't touch me like that again, okay? Murderer! Coe flinched at the name, loosening her grasp. Buttercup giggled, taking the chance to swiftly plant his feet into Coe's cheek, pushing her face away. It laughed. Kidding. Quit looking all gloomy. Though it hurt, Coe took the pain, not feeling anything she felt was worth whining about, not after what she had done. Now come on, give me a real dad, feed me, and in return, I'll love you like no one else will, Buttercup. Its feet still pressing against her face, still hurting her. Coe kept holding on to it, unable to pull away, needing it. Okay, just a little longer, please? In the dead of the night, cars still passed through the isolated streets, though all of them seemed to have more direction than a lone black Honda lagging behind. It stopped under a street sign explicitly forbidding parking from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., yet despite that, the car began to parallel park. From out of the black Jeep, a woman with a buzz cut, small gold earrings, thick glasses, and a button-up shirt quickly stepped out of her car, slamming the door behind her. Her feet clapped against the pavement decisively as she made her way down the block, picking up the pace enough to start jogging. A familiar, thinning, gray-haired short man wiped the glass of the shop, ensuring not even an inch of fog sat on the window. As he attentively did so, the shopkeeper neglected to sweat it from his brow and his stubbly face, which irked him deeply. Instead of focusing on himself, he wondered what tomorrow would bring, calculating the number of customers he would need by the end of the month to scrape by, ways to encourage people of his town to invest in his shop, business plans essentially. As he pressed his fingers against the glass, he felt a mixture of excitement, yet dread. He muttered quietly to himself, "They'll probably think I'm a weirdo. The way I laugh. Why do I have to laugh like that?" He began to ruminate on the social etiquette he lacked when he wasn't in his head, how rude he could be. The animals behind him began buckling down from a long day of competing against each other for an owner. But even if they were rivals, most snuggled close to each other, whereas others in their native tongue called out to the other in their cage, "Good night." The pet store owner, despite being accustomed to this way about them, this night was feeling particularly saddened by their consideration. He paused, wiping the window with his rag and Windex, and stared up at the moon. He sighed a bit dramatically, scratching the patchy spot on the back of his head, wishing, I wish I was more brave. His mind thought back to Coe, Eric, and that strange rabbit. He couldn't shake it despite the money. Even if he had made hundreds more than he expected to that month, guilt had been eating him from letting that rabbit go, at letting a little girl and her lackadaisical father to take care of one there had been no record of. Rabbits are tough pets for kids. I hope she doesn't end up killing it. His mind flashed with intrusive thoughts of Coe's tears, the rabbit's blood, and the trauma. He quickly shook it off, his guilt growing stronger. In her eyes, she looked so... No. She was a nice girl. She'll be fine. Still off-put, the man stopped cleaning altogether, returning behind his desk, putting away his cleaning supplies, and preparing to leave with his keys to the shop. He quietly walked down the array of animals saying their goodnights, admiring their cuteness. Not even as he was in front of the door to the exit of the building did he look away from them. But they hadn't cared enough to acknowledge him. Noticing this, he added, raising his voice, "Same time tomorrow, eh?" he said, trying to be jovial. The same parrot which Coe had pet squealed at him, "Shut the hell up!" His smile quickly faded, and he muttered ashamedly, "Sorry about that. And today, you'll probably get picked someday." As he approached the door, unlocking it, then looking up, he flinched as the same thick glasses-wearing woman stood in his way with a stoic expression. "Whoa, ma'am, we're closed, don't you know?" She didn't respond at first, scanning the man's eyes for a few moments. She inched closer. She squinted her eyes. She said very calmly, with a bit of a tired tone. "Sir, I'm not here to buy a pet. May I come in?" At first, he had relented, only wanting to go home. That is, until he realized that home was lonelier, despite having his own animal companion. In the end, he would only have more time to his thoughts, to his business, to that girl and her father, everything he deliberately wanted to avoid. Yes? As long as you're not a vampire," he said, with a genuine anxiety over something supernatural. "Nope." The man backed up, allowing her to close the door behind them. So, what brings you here? Would you happen to be a business or pet shop in the area?" The woman looked around, ignoring his comments. She said sharply, "I'm looking for my pet." Upon hearing that, the man scrunched up his face, confused. "Wait, your pet? Why would it be in here?" "Because I told him to come in here to find a better home," she said, walking down the aisle of pets, searching each cage and tank. The shopkeeper followed her, disliking the lack of urgency in her voice. But wait, you say that like I can actually understand you. And I'll be honest, I'm almost sure I wouldn't let any wandering animals in my establishment. People already don't care for this place enough as it is. There are stages to letting animals in here, I promise." At first she didn't listen, still searching through the aisle. That is until she paused, turning to him. "He's sneaky. He's small. And he's as resilient as a cockroach." Baffled by that and a little intrigued, he asked outright, "What animal are you talking about? A pit bull?" "No," she said quickly. She then pulled out a small collar with the name Reggie plastered on it. "He's a rabbit. My rabbit."